Hi, I'm Andy, and this is my lesson on subclass constructors in Java. In this lesson, I'll show you how to add instance variables to a subclass. I'll also show you how to use the super keyword in your subclass's constructors. Let's get started. In my previous lesson, we made two classes that can be used to create an online store. First, we made store item to represent a product sold in the store. Then we made the book class. Book is a special type of store item. It has all the features of a store item with just a few small differences. Therefore, we made book a subclass of store item. In this lesson, we'll start modifying the book class to include those small differences. The first difference between books and all other store items is that books have authors, and we want to include the author's name as part of a book object state. That means author needs to be an additional instance variable in the book class, like this. Remember, because the book class extends store item, book now has 6 instance variables, the 5 it shares with store item, plus author. Another difference between books and all other store items is that books cost much less to ship, so we need to make a constant in this class to store that shipping cost. Now we need to modify our constructor so that it initializes this new instance variable. First, we need to make sure we're past the author's name as a parameter. Then, in the constructor body, we need to initialize all 6 of our instance variables. Right now we're using super to initialize all the ones listed in store item. Remember, the keyword super in a constructor calls a superclass's constructor. In this case, store item is the superclass, so this constructor gets called. We have to use super to initialize those instance variables because they're listed as private in the store item class. That means only that one class can access those variables. Let's see what happens when we try to initialize the author's name before calling super. We'll test this out by making a book object over in main and then running our code. So it looks like we got a couple of errors. The first error occurs because we don't have a call to the superconstructor as our first line here. When that happens, the compiler adds one for us, this one, a call to the superclass's noArgument constructor, meaning the constructor that has no parameters. But the store item class doesn't have a noArgument constructor. It only has this one, a constructor with 5 parameters. That's why we're getting this error. We get this other error because calls to super can only occur on the first line of your constructor. They can't show up anywhere else. So to fix both errors, we simply need to switch the order of these 2 lines of code, like this. Good, the code worked because our call to super is the first line of code in the constructor. And because there is a call to super on the first line, the compiler does not add in a call to the noArgument superconstructor for us. So to summarize, here's how to design all your subclass constructors. First, always remember to put a call to super as your first line of code. This accomplishes 2 tasks. It initializes all the parent's instance variables for us, and it prevents the compiler from automatically adding in an unwanted call to super. After the call to super, put in whatever extra initialization code is needed for this specific subclass. In this particular subclass, that was just this one extra line of code. And that wraps up this lesson on subclass constructors in Java. I'm Andy. Thanks for watching and coding with me today.